In this video, I have 5 hidden tools on FamlySearch that you should know about. Let me introduce myself. My name is Connie Knox. I am a lifelong genealogist here to help you go further, faster, and factually with your family history research. Now, these tools are not hidden by FamlySearch on purpose, but they're often overlooked or forgotten about. And in some cases, you actually have to hover your mouse over them to see them. There is a handout for this. Now, if you're not a channel member, you'll need to join channel membership at the information access level in order to get the handout. If you are a channel member or brand new to channel membership, go to the blog posts that are in the community tab on the YouTube channel. All right, let's jump to it. All right, this first tip is really cool. I think you're going to like this. It's pretty simple. We've talked about this before, but if you haven't seen it, we're talking about following. But if you go over and you just click on anybody in your tree and you get this little mini profile, this little follow button, it used to be called watch, but it's now called follow. You can follow this person. And this is one of my ancestors. And by following this ancestor, anytime there are changes made by other members of FamlySearch, I will get a notification if I have notifications turned on. So how to take a look at who I'm following and my notifications. Let's start with following. So I can come up to this list right here and hit the following button, and it will give me a list of all of my ancestors that I am following. Now, if I want to remove somebody, it's pretty simple. I can click on this little icon here and say unfollow. Now, jumping back over to the tree view just for a moment, just to kind of get our bearings. If you go over to your account and you click on settings and you click on notifications, as soon as you're on the notifications tab here in the center, you can change the notification, especially for the following of ancestors. And I believe it is this one here where it says discover my ancestors, receive personalized emails about your ancestors. Now, I think these are weekly updates. You can turn this on or off. You can also get text messages. I personally prefer not to have text messages. I would prefer the email. If you want to unsubscribe, you can either unsubscribe from all of them or turn them all off. Now, the next little trick that I like so much is here in the fan chart. Now here I am in the center, right? This is kind of a hidden little tool that you may or may not be aware of, but if you come up here and you see where it's got this little teeny tiny fan, if you click on that, it'll bring this person down to the center, and then you can expand basically the view of this ancestor. So I'm going to click on this, and that brings Francisca into the center here. And as you can see, there's a lot of work to be done on her ancestors. Of course, they're my ancestors as well. You can kind of get a different view. Now, if you want to return to yourself, all you have to do is come up here and click the home button. And by clicking the home button, it brings you back to you putting yourself or whoever you have as the home person in the center. So then you can do the same thing again. You could pick on another person and click the fan button, and it brings that person to the center. And down below here, let me move this up just a little bit. Down below are all the children, and if you see this little tiny arrow, it rotates through the children because they can't fit more than, looks like 5 people in this bottom section, but there are 6 children of Oliver B. Booth. Now, another little trick you can do while you're here in the fan view is to invert the colors. I like the inverted colors. It's a little easier on the eye, but you can turn this off. You just go to this option menu and turn this off, and now you're back to kind of a white view. Personally, if I've been working all day in the fan chart or the tree, I usually use dark mode on most of my software. Now, another cool thing that you can do, and this is kind of still all part of the second tip here, is you can use these menus here to kind of color code your ancestors in different ways. For example, birth countries. So you can click on this and you get a legend over here on the right hand side as to what countries these people originated from. So the light blue is the United States, but look at how many ancestors I have from Denmark. I know these guys are from Denmark too, but I haven't marked them in the tree yet. But you can kind of get a quick glimpse as to their birth countries. Alternatively, you could click on the source button over here and see how many sources are listed for each person. And so here the dark orange is showing showing plus 10 sources for these people that are in the dark orange areas. If we click on stories, you can see there are no stories listed here, but you could add stories and that would color code these as well. Photos, I don't know if you can see this pale yellow, but there is some pale yellow here where there are a few of my ancestors here on FamilySearch that have photographs. So tip number 3 is to turn on this research help to alert you to problems in your family tree. So as you can see, I have a problem with my grandfather and a problem up here with, I don't know, what is that, my great-great-grandmother? We're going to fix the problems here on my grandfather. So you can see up here in the legend, it says there is a problem with the data, okay? All of these blue areas, real quick, are showing me that there are research hints and there are research suggestions in the purple. But let's fix this problem because we want the data, the algorithms to work properly. And so if we take a look at this, it doesn't tell us much here, but we click through to the person and we can see the warning from the research help wizard over here that there are 2 problems. One, it says, well, they're both the same thing. There is missing standardization of place, birthplace, and here it is burial place. So let's fix this. And it says missing standardization of birthplace. This person does not have a standardized birthplace. All right. So we come down here to birthplace and we hit edit, and he was born in Olathe, Johnson County, Kansas in the United States, but it says this is not a standardized. So let's see if we can find something. I don't know if there's a space in there or something it doesn't like, but we're going to pick this top one here because it is pretty close to the same thing and hit save. And now it's a standardized place. The warning goes away. We can do it again for this one. And that is the burial place. Edit, pick the standardized place. He was buried in Seattle and save. And now we've cleaned those up. So when we view him in the tree, going back to the home person, which is me, we can now see that he no longer has a warning. All right, so tip number 4, may be common for some people. It is, in my opinion, one of the best kept secrets. If you are not familiar with it, or if you are new to genealogy, this is going to be a game changer. It is the FamilySearch Wiki. So how you get there is you go to search and you go search the wiki. Now, the FamilySearch Wiki is my #1 source. If I have a question about where to find the records for anything, I start with the FamilySearch Wiki. I would say my second favorite is Cindy's List, but I'm going to start here first. So let's pretend for a moment that I am looking for my grandfather in Olathe, Kansas, and I want to learn more about Olathe, Kansas. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on North America. I'm going to pick United States. I'm going to scroll up and find Kansas. There it is. And now I have all kinds of information about what is available in Kansas. Now I could jump straight to the online records. I could jump to a community forum. What I like to do, I like to go hyper focused and then kind of back up. Okay, so he was in Johnson County, Kansas, which is right here, and I could drill in right here, but if you can't find it in your map, you can also come down and look at the lists and drill in from here, but I like the map, it's fun. And so now I'm got down to Johnson County, Kansas. And here I can see a whole list of subject matter and where I might find probate records or whatever my question is. If I'm trying to find more information about his death, then I know that death records didn't start until 1911. I can go through the list here and research all the different opportunities. Maybe we find it in obituaries. Here I would right click and open in a new tab, and then maybe I want to learn more about the vital records, so then I will right click, open in a new tab. This is following my research question. My research question is I want to know more about his death. And so I'm going to sit here and I could go through probate records, and let's just stop with those 3, but I could sit here and go through all of those. You can even scroll down and learn a lot more, but to me the quick way to do it is to right click and open in a new tab. Now right here I can see that there's information on the Kansas State GenWeb website for obituaries. I can jump over here to the other tab and I can learn more about death records. I can jump over here and learn about where to find probate records. This is just a huge help whenever you're trying to figure out where to find records. The FamilySearch Wiki. It's right here. Search, bottom of the list, research the wiki. Okay, my fifth tip, and before I get to my fifth tip, stick around because I actually have a bonus tip for you that I think you're going to like. But my fifth tip is to search the unindexed census records. And here's how you do that. So you go to search and you hit records. And then what you do is you pick your county and your state. So I'm going to pick North Carolina because that's where I research a lot. There we go. And then once you're here, you're going to scroll all the way down to where you see image only historical records. Now basically what this is saying is these are not indexed records, but the images are there and you can scroll through them. And one of the things I discovered here was some enumeration maps. Now, depending on the location, you may not find census enumeration maps, but boy, these are fun if you can find them. But there's also all kinds of records that you could actually thumb through. And once you start going through them, you can kind of get a sense of how they're organized on the microfilm. And you can, once you start going, okay, wait a minute, this is in alphabetical order, or this is totally loose and there's no logic to the way these images are organized. Or sometimes you can kind of see that they're broken up by districts. So take a look at the front matter on these rolls and kind of get a sense of where they're looking, because a lot of times you can find your ancestors in these records without an index. So this is something I stumbled across the other day. I absolutely love it. I had forgotten about these images. And so the United States enumeration district maps for the 12th through the 16th U.S. Census, that's 1900 through 1940. So it gives you a description of how to use this collection. I highly recommend you read through that for a moment. It also gives you a source citation, but let's browse these records. So my ancestor is in North Carolina. He's in North Carolina and he is in Randolph County. So I'm going to pick this roll 44, Alamance County through Rowan County, 1900 through 1940. And as you can see, this particular state is broken up into two different rolls. So I'm going to pick roll 44. Once I get here, end of roll, please rewind. But this is image number 1. So this whole microfilm is backwards. So let's go to second image for a second. Okay, so that's correct because this roll is Alamance through Rowan County. And here we are, Rowan County. And if we scroll forward, you can see there are several maps here for Rowan County. Now you can use this multi-image button and you can zoom in on this and zoom out so you don't see quite so many images at one time. And what I like to do is I like to scroll through until I see the front matter for each, or at least something that I can read of each one. Now I'm looking for Randolph County. So once I've figured out that these images are in reverse order, Randolph County should be just a little bit behind me. Jump ahead to like image 25 and see what we get. And we're in Reedsville. I'm looking for front matter in one of these images to give me a sense of what county I'm looking at. Now here, if we look at this closer, this is Pasquotank County, so I've gone too far. So it's not image 139, that's for sure. Let's go to image 100 and back out. Roxborough, Person County. So we got to go backwards even farther. I went too far, 75. This is perfect. This is Asheboro and this is Randolph County. Beautiful. Now check this out. This is Randolph County. It says, it shows you on this map, the border down here below is Montgomery County. Over here we've got Davidson County, and you can't really see the top. But the cool part is my ancestor is in Back Creek. So you can kind of see really close. Let me see if I can get any closer. These little dots that are on here is each individual house. So as I'm sitting here trying to map my ancestor's locations, I know he lived on Back Creek. And here's Back Creek. I might be able to use these maps to help me follow along on the census record as to exactly where the census taker walked, right? He may have gone around this block. I don't know. But I'm trying to establish that my Davis ancestors and my Henley ancestors lived very close together within walking distance, and I believe it's right in this area. So this map is going to be very helpful to me. So the trick is to take a look at the roll, even though it's not indexed. Take a look at the roll, go backward and forward, jump ahead 100 images if you have to. There's 1,000 images here, and kind of get a sense of where you are. And then you can slowly refine. You can, jump back and forth, maybe 100 images at a time till you get close. Then maybe you start jumping 50 images at a time, so you start getting closer, then narrow it down to 25 images, then maybe 10 images and 5 images until you find what you're looking for. The bonus tip, here you go. So the bonus tip is this. So anytime that you are in a record, just about anywhere in the FamilySearch area, you know, I'm big on keeping research notes, and I'm big on keeping track of where we find our records. And instead of just grabbing an image and throwing it in my file and forgetting about it, I want to know where I found it and how I could get back there again, because there might be more information here, maybe on images before and after this, that become important later on. So I want to know where I got this from. Well, this little information tab right down here, you pop that open and you scroll down with the little scroll bar over here, and it says citation. Copy this citation. How easy is that? I don't have to highlight it. I don't have to do nothing. All I have to do is hit that copy button, and it says up here that I have copied it to my clipboard. I go over to my research notes and I paste it into my research notes. It's that easy. FamilySearch is really good at their citations. A well-written citation as to where I can find this image again should I want to. So there's your bonus tip. As a reminder, there is a handout for this for the information access level channel members. If you want to learn more, hit the join button and you can learn all about it. All right, there are more videos on the screen for you now. So until next time, bye-bye.